But so many times in our lives, we want to pick and choose the pieces of the Christian life that we want to follow. And then we wonder why we spend all of our time beating against the proverbial wall and it doesn't open up. We wonder why our life doesn't look like the peace and joy and meaning and purpose that Jesus has promised when we haven't really taken on Jesus. We haven't really stepped through that door. We've really been beaten on a wall of our own design. We're trying to create our own path instead of stepping through the path that Jesus has made for us. That there is access offered, but it's through one means. It's through one way. We get close to Jesus, but we don't commit. Jesus says all or nothing. But the abundant life that Jesus offers is not found anywhere but in complete commitment to Christ. We've got to stop trying to walk through a door that isn't there. When you step into a house, when you buy a new house, almost inevitably you wish there was a door somewhere else. Well, this door should have been 6 inches over this way, or this door should have been here, and it's because of plumbing, or someone didn't think through the process, or the architect wasn't all that smart, or whatever it was. There was some reason why they put that door there. But almost inevitably, you buy a new house and you go, I wish this door was here, or I wish this window was here, or my personal favorite, I wish this light switch was somewhere else. Anybody got an old house and the light switch is behind the door? You have to open the door, close the door, then you can turn off the light. I won't comment on what that is, but most of the time it's not because of good decision making. Anyway, my point being, we want to put the door in our lives where we want it. And Jesus has said, here's the deal, I'm going to make access as easy as possible. I'm going to offer you safety and security. I'm going to offer you blessings of peace and joy, but you've got to go my direction. You've got to step through my door, not the door you want. It's a harder thing to accept, I think, than we realize. That we either buy into the 100% Jesus life and get the 100% Jesus blessing, or we buy into 90% of the Jesus life and we'll get 90% of the Jesus blessing, and so on and so forth. And you start getting below 50%, I'm wondering how much blessing you really get. It's really either completely Jesus and you step through the door easily, or we're beaten on a wall. But here's the good news, friends. Here's the good news. You can run into the door case and still make it in the door. You can run in the door case and still make it in the door. I found out recently I have ADHD, which I think is a superpower, but according to the internet, it's a disability. But I didn't realize, and this, if you don't have ADHD, this is not going to make any sense to you. It's a really terrible analogy, but it's just a profound reality. And you'll see me, if you watch me walk around, I run into everything. And I move a lot in my hips. I got a little Elvis in my pelvis, and this is ADHD people walk like this. They won't step around the thing. They just kind of move that part of their body around it. Rebecca's laughing because she knows this is how I walk. And there's videos. There's fantastic like short videos on the internet now. Like the camera perspective is perfect. You can just see them moving like this. It's a really great thing. Here's my thing. Because of this, I run into door cases quite often. You can't move your shoulders a lot because you'll get out of balance, you know. And I run into door cases a lot. But with Jesus, He's the door, and He says it's okay to run into the door case. You can still come in. You can still trip in the doorway and come in. You can still stumble over the threshold, and you can make it in. What am I trying to say? Jesus doesn't expect us to be perfect to make it through the door. The door is still wide open and it's still easily accessible. He wants us to commit, okay? He wants us to be the 3-year-old that's running as fast as they can into that door. And if they clip the edge of the door case getting in, fine. They still made it through the door. If they stumble over the threshold making it in, they still got in. He wants us completely committed. But if you misjudge, if you get some things wrong here and there, He's still saying, come on in. If your theology's not quite right, but you get the basic gist of it, come on in. Your doctrine's not quite right. Your life's not quite right. Your behavior's not quite right yet. You've got a few sins you're still working on. Jesus says, come on in. You can clip the doorpost. You can stumble over the threshold, but you can still make it through the door. Now, it's not to say that we make excuses and we don't fix those things. We don't want to run into the door case. But Jesus says it's okay. You don't have to be perfect to make it in His doorway. But you do have to commit to the process. You have to commit to wanting to walk through the door, not the wall. You have to commit to doing it His way and not your way, and He'll fix all the little pieces along the way. He'll get you lined up over time. It's okay to not be perfect. It's not okay to try to do it without Jesus.